Okay, so so I just want to draw some text on this drawing and show you how to make it with this option called annotate or annotative. And it's one, a lot of people get scared by this option. A lot of the old people, well, people who've used AutoCAD for a long time really avoid this one because it is a new option in AutoCAD. But I think once you've seen how to use it, it's one of the easier things to work with. And so here, it can help if you're in the new workspace. So in drafting an annotation, it's just easier to get to the tools. And then you'll see there's an annotation panel. Don't go to the Annotate tab, that has a lot more than you need. So it's just this annotation panel on the Home tab, where you've got all the text tools that you'll need. And then you'll see if you click where it says annotation, you'll get a little panel that comes out. And the first drop down there, I suppose, is for your text styles. And really the key to understanding text in AutoCAD is working with text styles, which if you've used Word for a long time, you may have used already in Word. It's something that you have in Word, but a lot of people just avoid it and go and set their fonts and text sizes as they go. Have a look at them in Word as well. They really help a lot there also. So set your text styles up first, and then you know what format your text is going to be, essentially. So here, next to standard, you can click on the little A with the paintbrush button, and that's to set your text style. And then you'll see there's an annotative text style already created for you. So you can simply choose it and then set a height. Okay, so I'm going to start with a kind of a medium text height, 3.5. If you're wondering what text heights to use, don't go any smaller than 2 mil. 2.5 is good for small text, 3.5 for medium, 5 for larger text, and then you can go a little bit larger still for really big titles and things like that. But on a drawing like this, 3.5 should be a good medium text height. That's it. Now I can just go to set current, and it'll ask me if I want to save changes. Yes, I do. So annotative, you can see up here, is the current text style, and I have a text height set to 3.5. If you want to, you can change the font, but I'm going to leave it on Arial, which is Poor Man's Helvetica. And that's it. Close. Now I can go to draw some text. And so you've got two options for drawing text in AutoCAD, multi-line and single line. But before you even think about drawing text, make sure you think about the scale and set that. That's the big area where people have problems in AutoCAD. And as long as you remember to do it, it's easy after that. Just set the scale down here, and it can remind you when you hover there, you'll see it's annotation scale. So this scale, you might have seen it already and played around with it to try and change the scale of your drawing. It doesn't affect anything else in model space but your annotation. That's all it's for. So text, dimensions, things like that. Okay, so here I'm going to set the scale to 1 to 100. That's critical. If you don't do this, you'll have problems with your size, your text size. Okay, so having done that, then you can use either of these two tools for drawing text, and I'll start with single line text. Okay, so single line text is good for single notes, individual notes. Okay, so you can see there it asks for a start point, and I'll simply choose a point down below, or actually I'll choose above this because I want to label it up here. And then it'll ask for a rotation angle. So single line text can be at different angles. but I don't want it to be rotated, so there you can see it's got a 0 in brackets. So I'm going to press enter, and that will move on to the next next object or next option, which is to type in your text. Exactly, yep. And now I can type in the heading for this, which is exercise 2. Enter moves down to the next line, just like a typewriter. So it's a bit different to all the other AutoCAD commands, where enter finishes the command. And so to finish it, you just press enter again. And that one's done. Now, just like everything else, it goes onto a layer. So I don't have a layer for my text just yet. I'll put that back onto layer 0 for now. Well, if I wanted to draw my other text on the same layer, I can just choose it now with nothing selected, and now that's my current layer. So again, just to do single line text again, I'll just go to the menu, choose single line text, click a start point, and then just make sure I realise it's asking me for a rotation angle. So there, I don't need to type 0, I can just press enter. And shed plan, and then enter twice to finish that one. I'll do one more, and let's see something different. So again with single line text, go up here, and so if you remember again, enter to set the rotation angle. This was exercise 3 and exercise 4. So exercise 3, enter, and then I'll do my next line, exercise 4, and then again enter twice to finish. Now if I select one of these, notice it's still a single line. So that's what's meant by single line text. It's always going to give you separate lines, which isn't a bad thing. It's often really useful to be able to move these objects separately when you have notes and things like that.
So you can almost write them all in a corner and then just move them around.
Exactly, that's right. And so when you're doing notes for these architectural drawings, that's a really common approach. Yep. And then with multi-line text, as you might expect, it gives you a group of lines of text or a paragraph. Okay, so with multi-line text, instead of giving a start point, you choose a rectangle. So here, I'll click a point, and then you can see it needs to have another point to set that paragraph. Once you've done that, you can see then it's a bit more like Word. You get a panel on the ribbon, which gives you all the different options that you'd have in most graphics and word editing programs. And so if you want to, you can change the text on the fly, either just by choosing from the panel here or type in what you want. So I want this text to be a bit smaller, and it means you can work often just with the one text style and change the height as you go. They're just different notes and things. Okay, so this exercise, it was the line, it's gone back to 3.5, sorry, I don't want that, 2.5. Okay, so line, offset, and fillet. Commands. When you press enter, it'll go down to the next line, just like single line text, but pressing enter again will just keep going down and give you more lines of text because it's all one connected paragraph. Okay, so I'll go back and I'll press enter and put that next line of text on the next line. Okay, so to finish this, you can either close the text editor or just click to one side. And then you'll see, unlike the single line text, if I select this text, it's one grouped object. So you can adjust that paragraph size, and that will do things you might expect if you use other programs. So it'll move the text down to a different line if it needs to. So it's really useful for paragraph or groups of text. And that's all there is to it. You'll see later when I look at, I'll take you through dimensions separately, but dimensions work in a similar way. So once you understand how to use that annotative option, it's pretty simple. So again, just to remind you, the text style, if I go back to that, needs to have this annotative option turned on. And what that'll do is pick up the scale you choose here. And if you remember that, you don't have to set all of these complicated text heights, which you can see here are being worked out based on the size and the scale you want. So try to use annotative, and again, it does most of the work for you. And that's all there is to it. So I'll just finish that one.